Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Ask the Accountant Weekly Live episode 125. Wow, 125. Big steps. Cool. As always, guys, I am joined by Mr. Aaron Patrick, the co-host with the QuickBooks chap. Aaron, how are you, and how has your week been?
Very good week. Yeah, very good week. Got the opportunity to go to another practice to go and see about helping them out, showing them some cool tech and some apps they should be using, all that sort of stuff. So just, wholesome, isn't it, when you get to go and do that sort of stuff? Loved every moment of it.
Giving back.
Yeah, gave a shout out to the wonderful Engager apps, obviously. Zama, they're absolutely loving that as well. Who else was it? Gareth over at Xenon. They were absolutely loving that as well.
Yep.
Same problem as always. Didn't really have a payroll solution to wow them with, but yeah, that'll come at some point. But no, it's good. And then we had Formula One this weekend, and I know you were watching the Formula One as well, weren't you? How did you find it?
My sleep patterns are ruined. Like, football fans don't have to go through this physical and mental turmoil that fans like races at 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh,
they did it like when it was Japan and stuff. I remember that one, and there's a few.
It's once every 4 years. You can get over that. This is every year, multiple weeks in the year, normally in a bloody row. It was a tough weekend for F1 fans, or two tough weekends, considering you want to be sleeping and resting on a weekend.
Good results. Good results. We're happy with them. Interesting
results. Yep. I think it'll be only a matter of time until Lawson's issued a P45. It's been an interesting start to the season, that is for sure. But we're happy with a Paprika top 2, aren't we? So,
and the Lewis win. I think we all keep forgetting that, but yeah,
it was the Lewis win on the sprint. Yeah, it showed us what he could do in a Ferrari if he can keep his skid plates right.
Yeah, good point.
All I got, I was out in the morning, afternoon, and all I got was a notification saying Lewis Hamilton disqualified for excessive skidding. It's like, no, my neck. Should have taken a change of boxes.
Oh, and all you got from me was FFS.
Yeah.
No context, just FFS.
Exactly. But yeah, no, good weekend all in all. Good weekend. So, as per usual, we are pointless of us two being here. We can do this every day of the week, but it's pointless unless we've got our community around us. So let's say hello and good morning to them. Good morning to Cheryl, as always, first in there. Louise Moore, good morning. On time for a change, usually watching on catch up. Nothing wrong with catch up.
Good morning, Louise.
I hear we go particularly well in the kitchen whilst making dinner. Apparently that is a prime catch up time for us. Tim C, good morning from Guernsey. Hope you are well. Paul, good morning to you. Natasha, good morning. Tim C says, Paul, congratulations on the milestone of 25 years.
Congratulations, Paul.
Fantastic. Carl says, good morning. Stephanie says, morning, gents. Good morning, Stephanie. Dave is here. Good morning, everyone. Hope you all had a good weekend. We hope you had a good weekend too, Dave. Kirsty, good morning to you. Tim has an update on this week's Guernsey animal news. Zoe's cat had to be rescued from an abandoned hotel by the fire service, like an episode of Scooby-Doo.
All goes off in Guernsey, does it? I think we definitely.
If you think we've got a gangland war going off here, we've got fire bombings and gunshots being rattled around at the moment in Edinburgh. The police don't really know what to do. On one hand, they're like, "Yeah, let them deal with it," but on the other hand, it's like, "Oh, someone innocent might get caught."
And the I've got is a chicken got loose once, so.
Oh no!
I've Hilton for you.
Good morning to Sam. Hope you're well.
Oh, speaking of Sam, definitely go and watch his podcast with Gareth over at Xenon. They did their walking one, where they go walking around and all that. Was very
good. Stephanie says the last 2 weeks of just a couple of hours a night have been tough. Gutted Ferrari on Sunday. My papaya heart is happy though. Yes, they did well.
It was brilliant. Was it a boring race? Probably, but did we care? Probably not.
I mean, is a race ever boring when you spend the whole 56 laps laughing at Liam Lawson?
Poor Liam.
And betting on whether Isaac makes it past the formation lap. Good morning to Susanna and good morning to Juliet as well. Wonderful. Right. We have news.
We do.
Aaron, I've just looked at my notes and you've slipped in at the top. Aaron's correction corner. We didn't discuss this before the show.
I forgot. I completely forgot.
What have you messed up this time?
So we're gonna put Aaron's correction corner on this going forward. This banner.
We're gonna have to at this rate.
Johann's apology corner, my correction corner. I'm not going to take too. We've generally got so much news to go through that I'm not going to take too long. But I need to correct a mistake that I made in over a month ago now. It's been brought to my attention that during the build up to QuickBooks Connect, I did state that, and unfairly so, state that the promotion of the QuickBooks Connect event wasn't very forthcoming. There wasn't much around it, and I did criticize them for it. But I would never. I didn't. My intention was not to criticize the team, like the social media team, or the event team or anything like that. My whole point of that, and I think I lost it when I listened back, my whole point was that I felt that it was uncharacteristic not to want to celebrate these events, right? Like that used to be QuickBooks Connect used to be our favorite event of the year, right? A while back, but it was our favorite event of the year.
Yep.
And I think if we learned anything from last year, we had that kind of mid QuickBooks Connect event where it was like, it wasn't a Connect, but it wasn't a full roadshow. It was in the middle. And I think, rightly so, our expectation was, well, after that, they're going to do a roadshow again and everyone's going to go around. We didn't get that. So I think my thing is that there's definitely a communication not issue, but there's definitely a lack of communication of what to expect from this event. Is this the one and only event of the year? And if it is, surely everyone should have a chance to celebrate it, because it was very much not invite only, but it was, unless you had an email saying you could come along, you weren't allowed, you weren't able to book to go on the event and stuff like that. And I know by design,
we filled the room with yes people.
Yeah, by design, they definitely wanted it to be an event where they didn't want to shout about it too much. That was by design. That's exactly how they did it. And I think, they've said that it worked really well on engagement and creating FOMO and stuff like that. So they were trying something different. And obviously it's worked from an engagement point of view, from a social media point of view, and all that sort of stuff. But I do feel like these events should be places where we celebrate QuickBooks.
These events should be open to everybody.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I don't care whether you want people to blow smoke up your backsides or not. If you are running an event, it's open to everybody. You promote it across everything.
Yeah, and by design, again, they didn't on this one. And but my criticism wasn't towards the event team or to the the social media team or anything like that. They were doing their job. They were doing what they were asked to do. I still feel like these events should be a celebration, inclusion for everyone. We all should get opportunity to go there, and that was and I poorly portrayed that, but that's what my whole intention was. So
I'm going to stand up for you here, Aaron, because I at no point did you say the events team did a crap job. At no point did you say the social media team did a crap job. Like what you said was there wasn't enough of it, but
but it was.
It sounds like they were invite only, and like they just wanted yes people there. Well,
yeah, I don't know if it was yes. I think it's more of it. It was targeted
at
a local area, wasn't it? And if you're going to target a local area, then we need more local areas, right? We need it to go around the country. We need it to be a roadshow. Otherwise, people who want to learn all about QuickBooks,
I would challenge that local area concept, and I would like to see a geographical map of where all the invites went, because I don't think it's local. I think it's yes people. And
maybe, potentially,
if you're going to run an event that you want certain people to attend to, and it's invite only, you've got your accounting council, do that. Free agent, do a platinum advisors event where they invite just their platinum, and that's absolutely fine. I've no issue with those, because the qualifying criteria.
Yeah, makes sense.
When you've run a QuickBooks Get Connected and a QuickBooks Connect event for the last however many years, which has always been open to anyone, and if you're not local but you're willing to travel, it wasn't that no one was ever uninvited because they were willing to travel.
Yeah.
Like, either change the complete branding of it, or you maintain an open door policy.
Yeah, I think there needs to be like a third brand in here, right? I think because it's muddy in the waters. Is it a Connect or is it not a Connect, and everything else? And it's only the people like us who know the difference anyway, right? Like it is like, and the internal people know it. So yeah, I think we just need to be very clear. Like
QuickBooks Fan Squad or something. Like,
yeah, there's got to be something there where yes, it's an event and yes, it's there to celebrate, but we need to. We just need to set expectation, because that's what we're still unsure. Are we getting a roadshow this year, or are we not getting a roadshow this year, right? And
lack of clarity as per usual.
I just feel like we need something to clarify that. And my final point, and then we got to move on because there's so much we want to talk about. My final point of it all is that I just feel like these events, they're designed to wow us, right? And they're designed to have that. And what I get out of it is sitting on those tips and tricks area, and you understand what the pain points are and what training needs to be done and all that sort of stuff, and where people are struggling and all that sort of stuff. And you get that feedback, right? So they're so important, these events, but we just need to be mindful that we've got to make it easy for people to attend them, because that's where brands like this do their best work, isn't it? It's face to face, being in front of them. Doesn't matter how good we do a webinar or a fancy video, it's being face to face, isn't it? Where we get the best out.
If anything, what QuickBooks have just done there by kind of making it invite only, ultimately, I know they've not said it's invite only before QuickBooks get on the phone to try and shout at me. The implication is basically, if you weren't invited, there was no major public place for anyone just to go and sign up, right?
And I had people asking me, how do I sign up for this event? And I was like, I really don't know. I'm sorry.
Just exactly.
Talk to business manager. Yeah.
Like, if I've lost my point now, but if they hadn't come back to you to correct this wouldn't have come out.
Yeah.
Like, they've made it worse for themselves by doing it this way.
They didn't ask me to. I know that there were people upset with what I said, and they felt like I was targeting their job and their role, and they've, you know, and I never wanted to target individuals or.
And ultimately, the people that have done it are just doing what they've been told by someone higher above. This is the overall management and leadership direction that has gone wrong. Is it gone wrong? I don't know. Like they're the ones who's going to have the metrics to know that, right? But I do feel like, if we want to celebrate people that felt like maybe someone in Newcastle that normally goes down to this event, they didn't get invited because they weren't local enough or whatever. That could be really damaging to that person's that relationship with QuickBooks.
Could be.
Whereas if it was just like, come on, everyone can come. Like Engage Labs, we made it very clear. We don't care whether you use Engage Labs or not. Engage or not. We want to have a day focused on practice management, regardless of what tool you used.
Mm-hmm.
And we had people attend with different tools who have no intention of coming to Engager as a software, and that's absolutely fine. The focus of the day was practice management improvement.
Yeah.
And like, if you don't want it to be open door, you need to come up with a whole new brand. Because you can't just take something that's already been known for something and repurpose it.
Yeah, exactly right.
Anyway, let's comment on this.
Go for
it. Stephanie says, I won't be invited again then. Because the only thing that she found exciting was the pancakes.
Yeah. I mean, you were a Zero fangirl, so it was controversial. You were there. No, I'm joking.
Clive says, I know someone from Ireland who goes every year, but was not this year because they couldn't sign up.
And they may or may not been one of the people who asked me, how do I get a ticket? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm sorry, but Clive is the strongest vocal advocate of QuickBooks in Ireland that I've come across. So surely there should have been an invite there for Clive.
Yeah. Or at least an opportunity for him to have signed up one way or another. Like, yeah. Because you don't know, like having to reach out to get an invite, there's always going to be those people who miss out, right? And it should just be but yeah. I mean, it's great that it sold out, or quote unquote sold out, and it was at capacity, but it just, they're our feelings, aren't they? But anyway, what's next on the agenda?
Right,
Jan?
Moving on. We've got some news from different
Correction Corner.
Let's get out of Correction Corner, get us ready to put back in it next week. Zama has made a new update. Zama has launched a new address search feature. So, when you go on the Royal Mail website and you enter a postcode and a house number and it comes up with a full proper address for you.
Yep.
Zama's now got a version of that built into Zama to make sure that, because let's face it, how many different variations of different addresses are there? Like,
exactly.
The householder might use one address with a different house name versus what's on the post register and stuff like that. So Zama have launched a new tool to ensure that they are finding the right addresses that are on the postal address, which means that will make the success of credit checks, AML checks, etc., more likely to succeed because you're using the right address, not the one the client's giving you.
Yep.
Which is fantastic news. Always nice to see new developments coming out of our friends at Zama.
And they did a really good webinar as well. I joined their webinar, I want to say Thursday, might have been Friday, one of the mornings anyway. One of the mornings they had a nice little webinar. And it was all about the new changes that are coming through from Companies House and how to prepare for them, and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I believe it's on demand, so definitely give that one
on my list to watch back. Unfortunately, last week was a rather busy week.
Yeah, very worthwhile. Very worthwhile. Going just cementing those bits that you probably already know, but it's like the importance of them more than anything else, right? And how Zama can help you kind of get over that. So very
absolutely brilliant. Cool. Our friends Joe and Zoe have been busy. Well, Joe Wood, Zoe Whitman, and a collection of their team. Like Stuart Hurst is in that team. Rebecca Williams, Nicola Fallon. There's another lady whose names have completely escaped me. I'm really sorry. I'll apologize now before I have to do apology corner next week.
I'll prepare Anna, don't worry.
They have launched Hey Monica. So Hey Monica is launched at Engage Labs. We're very Nadia Gibbs. Thank you, Christina, in the comments. Hey Monica launched at Engage Labs. We were very excited to. We put a bit of a gauntlet down for them a few months ago. I said, look, guys, can it be ready for Engage Labs? We'd love to have you exhibiting. And they went, yeah, of course it will. And it's like, ooh, that's brave, because I know how these software things go wrong, having dealt with Engager for so long.
Software, is it? It's branding, all sorts. They've got to get
everything, yeah. I don't think they'd even quite confirmed a name when I first spoke to them about it. They're coming to Engager Labs. But Hey Monica was exhibited at Engager Labs for the first time ever, which we were, it was great to give another software platform to exhibit for the first time. We were very proud to have new softwares there and give them opportunities. But the response they got was phenomenal. Like, they signed up 30 odd people on the day. So Hey Monica is a work experience AI powered chatbot tool, which basically is designed to help train bookkeepers and accountants that are, they've all got their Xero and QuickBooks certifications. They've all got their AAT and ICA, EW and ACCA qualifications. But at no point has anyone told them how to communicate with clients. How do you respond to this email? How do you deal with this challenging point on a phone call? Hey Monica's designed to help do that and give them, in a conversational mode, insights, etc., to help just give them a bit of confidence when they go and first deal with that client on their own. Very, very cool concept of a tool. I think it's going to do exceptionally well. They launched a waiting list over the weekend, and they go live today, I believe. But they've already got 60 odd firms signed up and using it and testing it for them, which just shows, I think, the demand for a tool like this in our space. We're very good at, I've always said this on a few of our pods, that we are very good as an industry teaching technical skills. Go to university and college, you get to all the technical skills you're going to need. Soft skills, we don't seem to care about. Whereas in running a business type skill sets, we aren't getting taught that. People running beauty salons and building construction and all these other industries get taught that at college. There's a whole module on running a business in this industry. We don't get any of that. So the fact that people like Joe and Zoe and their team are coming along with things like Hey Monica makes lives a lot easier. So we wish them the best of luck. I believe we've got some content and interviews with them over the last couple of periods that you've been to events with them on to come out in some point in the future. But
yeah, well, they're on the grid walk. So if you haven't already, go and see the grid walk
Yes.
for
Labs.
QB Labs. QB Labs.
Engage Labs.
That's a different podcast. For
I want
Engage
my apology corner right now.
Got those brandings mixed up. So Engage Labs, they were definitely on the grid walk there, and it's really good insight, wasn't it? Like, especially being their first one, being able to stick a microphone and stick a camera at them where they're literally whites in their eyes as they're thinking, in half an hour's time, those doors are going to open and we're going to have to talk about this product for the very first time. So that was a cool little insight. And yeah, Joe and Zoe have done some loads of content. I'm sure will be out very soon at Fab, and we were lucky enough to be able to record it for them. So yeah, keep an eye out for it. I don't think they were really talking about Monica, Hey Monica, at that point, really, but still great content. So go out and see it.
Definitely something to look out for and have a look at if you're struggling to get your staff up to speed with how to communicate with clients effectively.
Yes.
Brilliant. Just a few comments come in. Stephanie says, I agree that the clarity and communication where Intuit fell down. I feel like it should be an Intuit branded event.
I feel that that's going to happen over time. They've already done it in the US, right? It's now Intuit Connect over there. Yeah, that's only a matter of time before it becomes an Intuit event. So we'll see how that comes along.
Cool. Juliet says, I got a QB Connect invite and I'm in Newcastle.
Oh, the plot thickens.
There goes your locality claim, Mr. Patrick.
I'm pretty sure it was though. And yeah, either way. I mean, it's been and gone now, isn't it? But yeah.
Tim says, I once lived in a flat that had 2 addresses and 2 postcodes.
Is that because it was
going to make AML?
Did it like cross something? Because is it going? Was that without the place they were saying that they got the opportunity to get a French, E thing or something? Wasn't there something like that? So maybe it was like a French postcode and a British postcode.
Like there are some weird things like that because I know Jade, who's my operations manager. She lives near Reading, and she has to pay 2 lots of council tax because she lives on a crossovering border type thing. Oh, that's ridiculous.
That is awful.
Not only ridiculous but expensive.
Is it Reading and Leeds? Is that the 2
that? I can't remember what it was.
2 festivals. And just Leeds Council, like, wow, Reading Leeds Festival, so you can have to pay twice.
Right. Aaron and Paul says that has to have been in Pompey, right? Does that happen in Pompey a lot? In Portsmouth for the non-locals? But yeah. Right, Aaron. ChatGPT keep launching new tools.
I'm excited.
Okay. Have you played with research mode?
I haven't, but I'm so excited to have a play. Talk to us.
Have you played with their search mode yet?
Yes, I've had a look at their search mode, but no, not the research mode. Yeah.
Cool. So search mode came out just before Christmas. Basically, it's their answer to Google. Like, ask us a question, we'll search the internet, we'll come up with some listings. I can't say I'm using that a lot. I can't say I'm overly happy with the results I get.
It's also, isn't it? We just go and search at Google, don't we? Like, it doesn't matter what the solutions out there.
Yeah, like behavioral patterns and stuff like that. And also, like, the listings are weird. I don't understand how ChatGPT ranks things. Are they using SEO? How are they getting to that?
You mean people can't pay to influence it?
Yeah, but it's still weird. However, I had a play with research mode over the weekend. Oh my God. I saved hours and hours. So literally, I said to it, I want you to go and research this topic to help me decide on what I should do in my firm with the following things. And I said, right, okay. Well, before we go and research this, can you just clarify some points? Am I just looking at the UK? Yes. Right. And would you like me to look at, like, what size firms am I looking at here and assessing? Or like small to medium? Okay. What type of clients are you working with? So it was asking me all the questions it needed to go and do this job properly.
Love it.
Then I press go. and it went. And it went through so many websites, reading and researching it. It pulled in all the information, displayed it in a nice written report, going, right, this is what we're seeing as maximum and minimum and maximum charges. This is the way different companies are doing different tiers and different tariffs. It's incredible. I saved hours of Googling with this tool over the weekend. So if you are not using the research mode, but you're like we get it all the time in the Engager group, like, what's everyone charging for this? How does everyone structure this service? Has anyone ever looked at offering this service? Like, by all means, asking communities like Engager community, that's great that we can all share our own insights and stuff. But if you want a more broader, detailed look at it, ChatGPT research is phenomenal. And it tells you, like, in a little pop-out box, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this person's website now. Now I'm looking at this website. Now I'm looking here. Now I'm looking there. Absolutely phenomenal bit of kit, and saved so much time. I will make sure I cover it. I'm going to do an AI webinar for Engager users and anyone else that wants to attend. We have an open door policy to our webinars. We don't care whether you like us or not. We'll happily sit on a webinar and talk to you. But I'm going to do an AI one. Like, I did a poll just checking if people were interested the other weekend, and like got 200 plus votes for yes and 1 for no. It's like, cool, absolutely fine.
I wonder what that 1 for no was.
Well, as I said in the comments, look, because people were like, why wouldn't you want this? It's like, look, if you're not comfortable with AI, you're not comfortable with AI. That's okay.
Yeah.
Just be prepared to be overtaken.
Yeah.
Like,
unfortunately.
You need to get comfortable, and hopefully by doing some webinars on it, it will help improve their comfortable levels with AI. But I will make sure I include research mode in that webinar. And I also plan on our weekly live this Wednesday to take people through exactly what I did and how I did it. Because in the space of an hour, I had scheduler services written, I had a service offering product, I had email templates done, I'd done my research, everything. So yeah, if you don't use research mode in ChatGPT, give it a go. It's a paid for, I think it's on the premium model. You have to pay for it. So it's like, it amongst all the other tools is like 20 quid a month. It saved me more than 20 quid just in time this weekend. So very happy with that.
Yeah, it was. You've already paid for this month's, right? Like
exactly
1 month's worth, I think.
Yeah,
so it definitely makes you think though about there is going to be a point where which AI tool is going to be the right one, or do you have to use all of them? Because I'm sitting there green with envy now, right? Because I've got paid for Gemini and paid for Copilot. So really, should I be paying for ChatGPT? Yeah. Well, obviously, I'm shiny thing syndrome, right? So you've told me about this shiny toy. Of course, I'm going to give it a month's go and see how it goes. But it is getting to that point where they've got their own little nuances. Like, I still love with Gemini that whole studio option where you can have that conversation, but it can read your screen and give you context to your screen and all that sort of stuff. So I'm loving playing with that and found some really nice use cases for that. I still love Copilot because when you get a result, one button, you're straight into an editing tool and you can like make it pretty or take bits out you don't want to. You can put it, instead of having to do a copy and paste exercise, which I assume is what you're doing with ChatGPT at the moment, aren't you? If you ever...
Yeah, so I copy it, I take it out of ChatGPT, I stick it into Apple Notes, use Grammarly to make sure it's all UK speak. Like, to be fair, ChatGPTs have been very good so far, but the occasional comma and stuff, and I read through it there because I just find it easier to read in that clean interface. Add some things in, take some things out that aren't relevant. Like, remember what ChatGPT gives you is a draft.
As a template, right? Yeah, exactly.
It's a first draft. You then work on it from there,
and that's brilliant. And that's like we're talking what major cry over milk issues here that you've got to copy and paste back and forth, right? But if you wanted to add more context or you wanted to research something else, you'd have to take it back into ChatGPT. That's the only thing I'm loving about Copilot at the moment, is that I can edit it and at any point. I can go, "Ooh, let's do a little bit more on that," and it's already built in, right? And you can go from there. Again, small little bits, but that is definitely one of the bits that I'm loving. So Yeah. I think it's gonna be tricky, isn't it, to figure out which one, because you've also got Claude as well, haven't you? It's one of your AI tools you're paying for. So
I use
line of what's what we should be using, what we shouldn't.
Yeah, I use Claude for all of my meetings and stuff like that because it's phenomenal. It's the from a meeting recording point of view. It doesn't matter if it's a phone call, face to face, a day at an event. So when we go to DAS next week, I'll have my Claude on all day, recording all the conversations that I'm having with vendors and stuff like that. Because then I can snip it all out and summarize it all and come up with some action points really quick and easy. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But then, like Copilot, my team love Copilot. They use it all the time, but they don't need to use it to the level that I'm going into with research. So ChatGPT is more powerful for me from that point of view. It's
and Copilot's the same platform, right? So you would imagine at some point research would come to Copilot, or do you reckon ChatGPT would want to hold, because they've got to justify their subscription, right? So you'd expect at some point them hold some features back that is exclusively theirs, and this is why you pay for it, and ultimately so people like us pay for both. So that, it's the best solution for all, isn't it?
I think we are going to get that way with these AI tools. Like, if you think, I've got Amazon Prime. I can't say I watch anything on it, but my wife does. I use it for the free delivery. It saves me a fortune. I've got Netflix. I've got Now TV. I've got Disney. Like, as much as I'd like to slim it down to one subscription, there's stuff on all those channels that we want to watch at different times. So I think we're going to get to the same state with AI, where we have a number of tools and we know the best use cases for each one. Is my thoughts.
I think you're right there. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I just think it's interesting that at some point we're going to have to kind of almost get a chart or a table or something to go, right, this is what I need out of my AI solutions, and this is the best one to do that. So
maybe we should create an AI tool where we tell it what we need and it goes, this is the tool to use.
Or we have a YouTube channel called the AI Chap. We'll record all of them and go through from
there. Clive says, where do you find research mode? So, Claude, when you're in ChatGPT and you've got your little box where you type in your question, above it is search and research, and it's a picture of a telescope as an icon next to the word research mode. If you turn that on there, that'll do it, but it is in the paid for version, and it's on 4.0 is the model that I used for it. Louise says, love research mode. I've used it on a personal level. It's fantastic. There we go. Saving loads of time, I bet.
I bet people use it for their food shopping. That's been my favorite one to see. They're like, look, I want a menu. I want a food list based on having meals that are, I don't know, keto friendly or whatever it's going to be, right? And then it comes up with all these ideas for them. Then it goes into what the food of, and then and at some point it's going to be able to put that into the right order. So if I want to shop at Tesco, for example, I go, right, well, this is where you want to be. This is the order you should be picking up.
Aisle 1, then aisle 3, then aisle 2.
I mean, the ultimate for this is it then goes straight to Tesco.com, which orders it for you, right? Or wherever you do shopping.
Sam says, did you see Sora by GPT is now live in the UK? Looking forward to making AI videos with it. I've seen it. I've not played with it yet. I've not really had the time to look at that one yet.
Isn't it how accurate that has been from day one. It's like their first beta of it. It was a Marcus Brownlee video I saw, and it was like I forget what he originally asked for, but he created this amazing golf thing, and then he's like, oh, let's add some birds flying, or let's add some windmills in the background, and it's just like, scary.
Very cool for creating scenes and B-roll.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of makes it completely no-brainer to drop your services like I forget what it is, but that B-roll service that everyone promotes and all that sort of stuff.
Tim's saying it was his 2 addresses was because he was on the board of 2 council estates. There we go. Stephanie says, I still find ChatGPT the best for research, brainstorming, and pretty much everything else. Read AI is what I use for meetings. How do you spell Plaud, Johann? Plaud.
I've always got an I in it because it's AI.
No,
but it missed a trick there, didn't they?
So Claude is in. It's not a. It's a software. It's an app, but Stephanie. But the powerhouses are their gadgets. So they've got this note AI note taking thing, which sits on the back of your mobile phone with MagSafe, which can pick up phone calls as well, even if you're just using the normal speaker and microphone. But then they've also got this tool here, which is the Note Pin. This is the one that sits on your shirt or whatever, and records everything that's going on around you. It's very good for conferences, speaking sessions, and stuff. So you can pay attention, knowing that that's there recording the whole session's audio, and then it will summarize it, come up with the action points, come up with points of interest that you might want to research later on and stuff. So you can be focused on the speaker and what they're discussing.
I must say the strength of that compared, because I've been using Copilot, and you go into a Teams meeting and I've done it on any device, and you can set it to record that Teams meeting, right? So you could say, I'm going to this event, blah blah blah, and you could have that on you at any point. If you really wanted to, you could use the little Rode mics we got, right? And that Rode mic record it directly, and then a bit more discreet or whatever you need to be. The one big frustration about those devices when it does that way is it really struggles to understand if it's you speaking or someone else speaking, because Teams is really good if there's multiple people, because it knows that that microphone's active, so it must be that person speaking, or that microphone's active, so it's that person speaking, right? When it's all going into the same microphone, it assumes it's just you speaking, and that's my biggest bugbearer. But that's where you use a device like that, like
Claude
device,
does a really good job. So I'm recording between 15 and 20 calls, Teams calls, etc. every single day at the moment.
Yeah,
and it transcribes it all for me. I should know I am on the unlimited plan with them, so I don't run out of transcription minutes and summaries, because I do a lot of hours of recordings every day. But because what it now does, it goes, oh, that's Johann. I recognize his voice from other recordings. Oh, that's Jade. I recognize her voice from other recordings. So now I'm going in each night to go, right, I'll select my speakers, who's speaking where. And if it's people I've already spoken to, 9 out of 10 times it goes, we think it's Bob. Is that Bob? Yeah, it's Bob. That's great. So it's becoming more and more powerful.
Love that.
Yeah, very cool bit of kit. But yeah, research mode in ChatGPT, people, it will save you hours of Googling. Right. Let's move it on from competent AI to incompetent AI, but we're not going to talk about their AI. Aaron, you've got some news on Xero changes. So Xero have added a scalable payroll feature after launching their new plans last year. They've given people the ability, or about to give people the ability, to be able to scale up the payroll offering without having to jump into another band of Xero package, another tier. Is that right?
Yeah, so fair play to them. They took the criticism on the chin, and this, because definitely when the new pricing point came out, this was the bit that people were confused about, right? The fact that they had their bandings, and it was, you get so many payroll in this banding and so many payroll in that banding, and people then artificially had to go into another banding just because they had X amount of employees, for example. And it was, it was bad.
You could have 6 part-time employees, which put you into a bigger banding that you didn't need.
Yeah,
because in effect, you only actually had 3 full-time employees, and so you weren't quite as big a business as it sounded like.
Exactly.
Even though you've got 6 staff. Yeah.
Exactly. And you can understand their logic. I mean, they even say in the press release that it was all about the fact that, they saw it as incredible value. And I think in some circumstances it probably was, right? Like, you were ultimately getting payroll for free, where before you had to pay for it. So in that respect, you can kind of see where they're going from. But anyway, they've taken the criticism on board. Fair play to them. And they're working hard behind the scenes to get this change live as soon as possible. But they're looking to get it available in June. And basically, they're going to give you the opportunity to be more flexible. Listen, and we've adjusted our plans. Customers will be able to add employees to our Zero, Ignite, Grow, and Comprehensive plans. Interestingly, Zero Simple is not included, but that's the same as QuickBooks Sole Traders. So.
And Zero Simple wasn't designed for people with employees.
One-man band, isn't it? It's,
and Zero Simple, like Zero Ignite offers one employee.
From memory.
Is that right?
From memory.
Something like that. So they've got an offering of payroll built into that price point.
Yeah.
So if you then need more than that, then you need to pay a fixed amount per.
£1 per employee and ultimate for £1. So that's it. That's what you want, right? Existing migration plans remain unchanged, and you can basically just keep an eye out for your opportunity to add them for £1 or £1.50 going forward. So
I think that's actually a really strong play by Zero in the payroll market. Like £1 for unlimited package and £1.50. That's very competitive, in line with other cloud packages.
Yeah.
So that's a very, very interesting direction for them.
And it's all in product, right? You don't leave the product; you just do it all in there. There's definitely, like, we've got app fatigue at the moment, right? So just telling a client they want to run their own payroll and they're already on Zero, it's a no-brainer just to go in there, put it through.
Whilst the payroll market's in a mess like it is, where Bright's about to turn off Bright Desktop, like no one's truly settled on a cloud solution yet that can do everything that everyone wants.
Yeah.
Then this is a strong play by Zero.
PLMD's been abolished, and now all that functionality's got to come to your payroll solution.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fearful. I think it's only going to get worse before it gets better, right? Because
definitely,
for me, I would say that's such a huge change, because at the moment, like, P11D software's doing its job. You get a vehicle, for example, and it looks for your CO2 and how long you've had it for and all that. If all those calculations now suddenly got to appear in your payroll, at least that's the hope for us. That's almost become an expectation for us, right? We're going to expect that functionality, not that we're going to have to go to a third party to find out what your benefit's going to be to then go and declare it in the software. If that's going to be the route, I think payroll solutions are going to suffer, right? I think that's our expectation, is that if an employee gets a new car throughout the year, we say what car it is, and the calculation's almost done for us. I know we're going to still have to add the bits in that we normally add, but I don't see anyone talking about that, and it's only a year away now, right? And I think that if we don't get that functionality, if we don't have that ability to be able to manage our quote unquote P11Ds, or our benefits, as I suppose we'll call them now, we don't have that ability to manage our benefits within payroll directly there so that we can declare it properly. I'm really fearful, and I've heard no payroll, from what I can tell, really talking about how they're going to tackle that going forward.
No, I haven't.
And I think the expectation, or not the expectation, but I think there's almost a bit of naivety there, that it's okay, you'll go away, you'll find out whatever the benefit's going to be, and you're just going to declare it on the payroll, and we'll just put the end figure in each month, basically. I don't see how that's going to work. I feel, we've got to have that. The benefit's got to be calculated within product for it to be beneficial for us. And yes, you're going to have to charge more for that because that's extra functionality or whatever, right? Like, there's monetary value's got to be there. We can't expect it to be for free.
Yeah.
The expectation is that that's going to be built in, right? So I can't see any fancy, wonderful update for anything going forward, because we've got such a major change coming. I just fear that, again, payroll market's going to stagnate, because they're, as we keep saying, they're having to catch up. They're having to keep up with all the changes. Not only have we got the changes to the way it's taxed and the rates and all that lot this year to contend with, but they've got to figure out how to deliver a benefit solution for us as well. So it's going to get worse before it gets better, isn't it? So yeah, the fact that there is a nice, cost-effective solution for them, then that works for me.
Yep. Right. Next one is Zero apologizing on social media. So we are the first to criticize anyone that tries to in sight that accountants and bookkeepers are a thing of the past. We've called out QuickBooks on it in the past. We've called out others. Xero got called out by the friend of the show, Samantha Mitchum, and I've not seen this yet, Aaron. So you take us through it.
Yeah, so I mean, the original call out was about the messaging very much insinuated that that you didn't need an accountant again. It was back down to that route, right? Xero's got this fancy feature, and I'll be completely honest, I can't remember exactly what the feature is, but I don't think it's relevant. But they got this fancy feature, and you don't need an accountant because it's such a good feature that why would you need an accountant when you can get it all done for you just by using Xero? Same messaging we've called out time and time again from various solutions doing it. And Sam rightly called them out, but what was brilliant to see was the response. So the UK country manager, Kate Haywood, said that basically we're looking into how this happened. The content, this content has been shared with in its messaging, and they immediately removed it. Messaging could not be further from reality. And then it goes on to talk about how much they respect accountants and bookkeeping community, blah, 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 blah. So I think more than anything, it just shows how quick they were. Like suddenly, the
level of person that it wasn't just it wasn't just like an account manager or a social media person or anything. It was actually the right person with the authority to apologize on behalf of the company doing it.
Yeah, and that's it. And then it went so far as Sam even put on a further post saying fair play to Xero. So kind of shows how important just handling those boo-boos are. Like everyone's going to make a mistake from time to time, right? Yep. These mistakes are going to happen. No one's going to be
the amount of correction corners we need to do at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the way that you approach it and fix it, right? Now, the one thing I will say though is I'm all up for great statements and everything else. We've got to always keep an eye on though. It's the actions that definitely are that. But the fact that they've said the right words, great, well done, applaud them for that one. But it's going to be their actions they're going to be judged on.
Now so follow it up, prove it.
Yeah. That's how to deal with it. But the pace in which they did it and everything else, we can only commend them on that one and going forward with it. So we're loving that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't think we've got time to talk about the one, do we?
No.
Yeah, we'll leave that other Xero news for next week.
We'll cover that next week.
We just find ourselves Xero at this point.
Right. This is what happens when Xero's got a lot of announcements and stuff going on.
True.
We will cover them. We try and give everyone the same. Well, we don't give everyone the same quota of time or anything, but we try and cover all the news and be industry agnostic, shall we say. So, speaking of industry and events, next week is DAS, Digital Accounting Show in London. Aaron, you and I are going to be there. We're going to be there. We're going to be back doing the grid walk on day one. So Dan and Jordan and their team have given us access early doors to get in, to don the high-vis jackets, especially in the dark working environment that is DAS.
You want the high-vis back?
I think we need to, with health and safety. And we'll be going through and doing the grid walk for DAS. So those that can't make it this year can have a look at what they could be doing next year. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Another 2 days down in London. We've already got breakfast booked at Dishoom, haven't we, on day one?
We have, and day two for me, but yeah, only day one.
I could make it to day two.
The person who I was having dinner with let me down, so maybe breakfast would say maybe we should just go anyway and just
Okay, fine, we'll go because I've got to get back. I've got to come back on day two. My train's at 11 o'clock because I'm seeing Cy King from the Hairy Bikers that night.
Perfect.
With my wife.
This is it, and you'll be fueled, ready for that train journey.
I will.
Yeah, this is it. It's a date, as they say.
But yeah, so looking forward to DAS. We weren't there last year. And yeah, it's going to be good. I've seen some fantastic speakers like Jason from over the pond in America's coming over. He's a great speaker. He'll talk all things AI, I believe. Yeah, they've got a lot of speaking slots and stuff lined up, and hopefully we'll see. DAS seems to be becoming a bit of a place for like announcements and debuts. So see what they've got announced, what everyone's got to announce at the event. Any particular parts you're looking forward to?
Honestly, I haven't looked other than Jason being there, which I've got a huge admiration for, and I've already reached out to see if we could maybe collaborate a little bit. So we'll see if we can make that happen. But I tell you what, let's do a public service announcement, PSA. I'm gonna say for our grid walk, we're gonna change it a little bit around on this one.
Change. We don't like change.
I think we need to go and talk to more vendors that we don't necessarily talk to, right? I felt like Gridwalk's my favorite bit of content we do, right? But we're very much, let's go talk to these ones because we know they,
we have our friends who we like to go and catch up with.
They appreciate us coming over to them. They're always going to have something interesting to talk about, and it almost feels like when you look at Martin's Gridwalk, he never talks to Lewis Hamilton because Lewis Hamilton says he doesn't want to talk to them, and he doesn't really talk to certain ones because he doesn't have that relationship, right? I want to break that mold, so I'm going to reach out to a few of the vendors there that we may have never spoken to before, just to give them the heads up and say, look, you've probably not heard of us doing our Gridwalk, but it's a great opportunity for you to just give a bit of insight into there. We're doing something different as well. We're getting a 360 camera on the rig as well, so
new dimension, people.
So we'll be able to kind of figure out like how that's going to work. I'm not 100% sure from a editing point of view. I feel for Lizzie on this one because I think that's going to.
I think it'll be all right for B-roll,
potentially, but it's definitely an added complication. It's not, you can't just dump the file in and hope later. You've kind of got to reframe it and all that sort of stuff. But that's a problem to figure out. But also we're going to try and get some interviews throughout the day and try and splice them in there as well. Put it in there. So we're gonna try our best to use this as an opportunity to change the format slightly, figure out a little bit. Like let's reach out to more people beforehand so that we can talk to them and give them the heads up that we want to go there. And we can, like last time, 2020, we walked past them. We said like, oh, 2020 are there, but we didn't go to them because we didn't really know if they wanted to even be on it, right? Like if they wanted to be there. So
it's not as much whether they wanted us to, as we're also like some of these softwares are quite strict on PR. That only a PR trained person can talk to us, and it all needs to be pre-authorized beforehand. And if you don't get it authorized, they won't let you release it, and it can become an absolute nightmare for us. Which is why we stick to what we know to a degree.
Exactly right. And I feel like we've got to break that mold, right? It shouldn't just be friends of the show. It should be the
people
event.
that are listening and watching. Is there anyone you want us to go and speak to? Who would you like us to interview? Who would you like us to go and see on the grid walk? And why would you like us to go and talk to them? What would you like us to try and get out of them? Inside gossip, as it were.
And if you can make instructions to us, even better. Like that. We want to open it up. We want to have more people that we can talk to and just get that insight to and celebrate, because it's a part of celebrating these events, right? That's the whole point of the grid walk is we've got to go through, celebrate it, like create that FOMO for anyone who isn't there, but also give an opportunity for people who are there to have that sense of, oh yeah, I was there.
I spoke to them about that. That was good.
We went to that charity match me and Ash did 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, in Wembley. The amount of content I've consumed on that charity match because I was there thinking, I wonder if I wonder if they'll go to the same place I went to. Or wonder if they're sat near where I was, or do you know what I mean? There's that curiosity about it, isn't it? And that's what we're trying to create. We're trying to put it through that. So please, bit of a public service announcement. If you know any vendors that are out there, if you know any speakers are there that you think will be great, like content that you want to see on the grid walk, then let us know, and we will do our best to make it work. But we want to up it, right? We know that it's one of our flagship pieces of content, and we want to keep iterating it and build onto it.
And then we can refine it further, ready for Accountex in May as well, which that's going to be a big event for us.
There'll be 2 days of that one and all sorts and everything else. And let's just let's not rest on our laurels, but we need you guys' help. So please, if you know anyone
that you want to hear from,
then get in touch with us and we'll go from there.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Right. 5 minutes to spare. Quick. What are you up to this week, Aaron?
I mean, we could talk about quickly Zero's, what do you call it, can't we?
Go on then. We've got 5 minutes. You lead the way.
All right, cool. So, Zero, speaking about Zero, it's been a bit of a Zero show. Managing director of North America at Zero stated, I'm very excited to share that Zero is addressing another key challenge for our US and Canadian customers, bank reconciliation. So my biggest contention with Zero seems to have been addressed. Now, not had to play around with it. My cautious approach to this is I don't know if they know what a bank reconciliation is, if I'm completely honest, because they launched some form of bank reconciliation in the UK. But my argument is that's not true bank reconciliation. It doesn't like cut it through and put it from there. My biggest element of this that I love to see was a friend of the show, John Toon, says, please never bring this to the UK. We don't need to go back to the days of manual records. Now, in my defense of this, how could you not want a proper bank reconciliation in? Yeah, maybe we've got to a point where you've got your Zero fan base who don't believe in bank reconciliations for some reason, and then you've got the rest of the accounting and bookkeeping industry. So, yeah, that's what we've got to play around with and understand it. Let's see it. You're using more and more Zero nowadays, right?
Oh.
Do you miss the world of bank reconciliation, or do you not care?
So we still reconcile the banks. So we still get bank statements in naturally, and we check the bank balances. And then if we need to, we dig into it and so on.
Because there is a feature in Zero where you can say bank statement said X.
Yes.
And
so
Zero.
We do that. However, it's normally easy to export and do it in Excel, which is frustrating.
Well, my argument is they never lock it down. That's the bit that's the reconciliation area that for me is the critical bit, right? Once you've stated that your bank balance is Y, don't let, or if any changes get moved from there, you need to be told about it and
password protect it.
Or if it's not password protected, just an audit trail of what got changed so that you can quickly go back and go, yeah, need to move this, need to move that.
Yeah. And as Stephanie says, Zero users have learnt our own way of doing bank reconciliations.
Is that the way? Is that the way to do things? I don't know. But hey, at least you are, right? Because my only thing about John Toon's thing is, please, we never bring this to UK. What? Never do bank reconciliation in the UK?
I don't know.
Maybe we need context on that one, John.
Yeah. But yeah, surely a product's better to have a new feature there that I don't use and I might need in the future than not to have it at all. Like, if John doesn't want to use it, that's fine. He can just ignore that feature. Like working papers in QuickBooks, if you don't want to use it, you ignore it.
Yeah, exactly.
But my team use it currently.
Yeah.
I say currently because we are still looking at options. Yeah, it's... I think it's something the Zero needs, just for those that prefer to work that way. And I think it actually broadens the attraction of Zero to a wider base of accountants and bookkeepers that have been taught to need a reconciliation tool and to do it in a certain way. So if Zero then adds that, then surely they're just widening their potential user base. I don't think it's a bad thing for them from that point of view to do. But yeah.
Jump in the comments, aren't we? Before we
right.
Kirsty was the first one. Oh no, Louise was.
Louise says breakfast at Dishoom, my favourite place. Our team are having breakfast there after Accountex. It's Aaron and I love a good
round of applause.
Yeah, definitely. Kirsty said I liked it when Jordan did the pitch slap idea. That was very good. Yeah.
But we don't want to just steal Jordan's, right?
No, we've got to do our own thing.
His approach. So yeah.
Innovation, not copy and paste. Juliet says Genesis AI, Jack AI is being launched at DAS. She can get us an introduction for that. That's brilliant. Let's go and talk to them.
Play around.
Yep. Sam wants to find out more about Vinyl AI note-taking for accountants integrated with practice management. Will I see you at the launch party? We're not at that launch party. And I feel like Vinyl is a great idea, but it's reinventing the wheel for the sake of reinventing the wheel. Like, we've already got Copilot, we've already got Claude, Fathom, Read AI. Like, there's so many note-taking apps, and all it takes is copy and paste into the practice management tool, is it saving enough of a pain point for the subscription costs? I don't know what they're charging yet, but I'm now sat there going like, if I'm adding 15 client meetings into Engager in the space of 5 or 10 minutes a day, then how much time will it save me to justify the subscription cost?
Yeah,
I don't know yet. It's only just been launched. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. But is this like Connect 4?
Yeah.
Who just reinvented Zoom and then were surprised that no one took them up on it.
Yeah,
because Zoom was cheaper.
I would say at this point in time with AI as well, I appreciate copy and paste because it forces me to go, did that get right? Was that right? Do you know what I mean? It just
I don't want it instantly going into somewhere. I need a level of sense checking there.
Yeah. And we still we have to be responsible with that. That's responsible use of AI is we just look at
it's a bit like bank reconciliation. You don't just assume the bank balance is right, do you? You double check.
Apparently you do, but yeah, that's a 0 for you. Juliet says she can introduce us. Excellent. Thank you, Juliet.
Thank you. Yeah, please do, Juliet. Reach out to myself or Aaron on LinkedIn or however you want.
Oh yeah, we've gone that. And then this last one.
How do you know if the bank feed has missed something? If you don't reconcile, definitely need a warning that a transaction has been reconciled. Definitely.
100%.
Yep.
100%. And that's the point, right, Cheryl? Like, yes, we could do any form of stuff outside of Zero or outside of any solution, but yeah, when it's built in there, we get those added checks.
Yeah. And just to go back, like, I'm not saying vinyl is going to be rubbish or anything. I've not seen it. I've heard of them. I've heard of them in the industry. I just question the value add.
Yeah, we need to be sold to us, right?
Yeah, I question the value add versus everything that's already out there on the market. Like, vinyl is not going to give me a device to record every single meeting on. It's just going to cover like Teams and Zoom meetings and stuff. Well, actually, I want phone calls covered. I need in-person meetings covered. Can it do that? Or is it yet another one of these tools in my tech stack that covers a fraction of what I need, where there's other tools that cover multiple fractions of what I need? I don't know yet.
Yeah, we need to play with it when you see it. We need to be wild by it, don't we?
As you say, Aaron, like it's that sense checking. Like, I sit there like on the sofa watching telly in the evening. It'll be some rubbish on telly, and I'll just go through my meeting notes, and they will all be transcribed for me, and I'll just quickly glance through them all, going, "Yeah, that's what was discussed. It's got the right angle on that," because we still need to sense check it and trust that it's right.
And add some extra bits to it, right? Because sometimes it won't action point the most important part because it's AI. We'll learn it. Still, like we're in beta for a lot of these, right? And that's where,
And then I copy those meetings into Engager. Like,
that's how
a 10-15 minute job each evening, because not every single call and meeting I have is something that goes on a client's record. Because it's meetings with my team, etc. But it still needs that human check. Like, in theory, AI could probably go out and review and create a set of accounts for us. You wouldn't just give them to your client. You'd want to check them to make sure, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I'm sure the team at Vinyl are going to do a fantastic job. I just need to be sold on the concept and where the added value is.
And maybe that's one of the people we can have a chat with at Accountant.
Yep, definitely.
Cool.
We will feedback. Brilliant. Okay, guys. Well, absolutely great to see you all here. Thank you very much for joining us in the comments as per usual. Aaron, are you up to anything this week? Anything exciting?
Quiet week, thankfully. So it's about getting my head down, getting some stuff done, ready for Daz next week.
Something about a spring statement on Wednesday?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Good point.
But I've not heard any rumours about business taxes or anything yet. So we'll watch it. I'm sure LinkedIn will be full of people in their war rooms pretending to watch the budget at the statement and action things. But yeah, spring statement on Wednesday. But the rest of my week is just in the office getting on with work before we skive off to London next week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Be good fun.
All right, guys. Thank you as always for joining us. We will see you all same time, same place next week.
Cheers, everyone.
Goodbye.